I'm really struggling with cards I don't like, which is a good sign, right? Inescapable, unavoidable, impersonal. Is this a cop-out answer? Maybe. I think this should be Achilles, Morning, Patroclus. All right, have I stretched the definition of blue? Yes. I think I have the most beef with the Two of Cups. It's my video, I make the rules. Hello everybody, it's Sylvie. Welcome or welcome back to Tarot Magpie. I hope you're doing all kinds of good. Today I am getting to know the Circe Tarot. This was a recent acquisition. I bought it kind of on impulse. It's been on my wish list for a bit, but the purchasing on the day was impulsive. I was at a witchcraft market. I saw it. I bought it. You know how it goes. This video has been inspired wholesale by Imogen over at Sapling Tarot, who in my personal but correct opinion, you should already be following and watching, so go subscribe, show them some love. Imogen recently did a video getting to know, I think it was the Ritual Tarot with the One Deck Gone Wild prompts, and I thought, hey, that's a good idea. I'm going to do that with this Circe Tarot. I'm going to do the One Deck Gone Wild. I'm going to pick some of the prompts, and also I might do the Arcana battle tag that's been going around because that looks really fun. So yeah, I'm going to play with the Circe Tarot. I'm going to get to know her. I've had a flip through. It's already out of order. I had a flip through after I bought it. I've looked at the cards. I've looked through the guidebook to kind of see what all the different cards match up with. I think somebody else has said this. It's less about Circe and more about the Odyssey and just kind of some general Greek myth. I'm not mad about it. Dionysus here is the fool. And yeah, I had a flip through the guidebook. Most of it made sense. I could see where they were coming from for a lot of it. Some of the choices were really good. And it's made me also want to dive back into the world of Greek mythology. So I'm excited to dig in, and I just kind of wanted to have a play. So that's what we're doing. These are the backs. I'm not going to do a full walkthrough because those exist. I would direct you to Thea over at Garden Goddess Tarot, her walkthrough. Also more knowledgeable in terms of the Greek myth, more knowledgeable walkthrough, flip through, first impressions, something. I'll direct you that way. I'll link it in the description. So I'm going to jump right in with some of the prompts questions from the One Deck Gone Wild tag. I'm using this picker wheel. You're just going to have to trust me. It's going to be off screen. But it's got a cute sound effect. The deck takes you on holiday is the prompt. I mean, Greece, right? Like, obviously. I feel like that's a bit of a no-brainer. I love this Wheel of Fortune with the Fates as the Wheel of Fortune. I've got a couple of decks that do this, and I love it every time. Yeah, it's taking me to Greece, or it's taking me specifically to the island that was said to be Circe's island. And I'm definitely getting confused because I've been to the place that was supposedly Calypso's island or cave, and I don't remember where exactly Circe's island is like supposed to be. Yes, Hermes is the magician. I love this. So, but it's taking me to Greece. We're going to Greece together, obviously. All right, favorite and least favorite card. Okay, I think I'm going to do a like yes, no, maybe pile. And then we'll go from there. This is fine. Page of Wands. I don't remember who this is, so it's neutral. I like the imagery. Five of Pentacles, I'm very neutral. The High Priestess. I love this. Queen of Cups, yes. Strength. This is, I do remember this is the Nemean. The lion that Heracles ended up beating. I'm fine. I love the imagery of the Sun card. Love this. I think the guidebook entry for this was interesting, and I don't think I don't like it. So we're neutral. The Emperor, I freaking love that. Two of Wands, fine. Seven of Pentacles, also fine. Knight of Swords, I really liked the quartz in this. Six of Wands, it's fine. This was really clever for the Hanged Man. I liked that a lot. It's Prometheus with his liver being consumed. I think there were a lot of the Amazons in the Wands. This star is absolutely beautiful. I will say I'm not wild about the aces. That's fine. I'm not wild about the aces because yes, Queen of Swords. The guidebook references who it's supposed to be, but you can't see it anywhere. So I'm like, meh. Oh my god, this Three of Swords. I love this. This was Dido. Rich bitch in her garden. We love to see it. Corona's a Hierophant. I love that. The courts in this are beautiful. Oh, I love the Ten of Swords. Was Patroclus. We like that. Like, it's beautiful, but I don't know who it is. So for that reason, just because otherwise I'm not going to have a least favorite, for that reason the aces go in the least favorites. I don't remember who this was. I want to look that up. Cups. I think this was Homer. This was supposed to depict like Homer as the man in the Ten of Pentacles, which I thought was a choice because I've seen interpretations before for the Ten of Pentacles where the old man is Odysseus returning dressed as a beggar and only his dogs recognize him. So I was not displeased, but I just thought it was interesting to like not go down what felt quite an obvious route. Okay, I don't like this because I think this should be Achilles mourning Patroclus and having a tantrum about it. I don't remember who this is. I like that. I love this imagery with the crown and the throne. I think that's beautiful. Just the courts are good in this deck. Am I becoming a people deck person? Who knows? I just think they're stunning. Was this Circe and Telemachus? I don't remember. Oh, and this is boring. I mean, I always say that about the world card, but this is boring. This glare is not my favorite thing that's happened recently. That's very visually striking and I enjoy it a lot. I don't remember what this was. I felt like that was maybe a weird choice. Oh my god, I loved this tower. Like Icarus, and yes, it's good. This also I thought was an interesting choice, so maybe that's a not a fan. Was this Achilles? I need to look that up. Another ace. Visually, this is such a good card. I really liked this Seven of Cups as well. And obviously, yes, Hermes is the magician, as he should be. I really enjoy this. Zeus's Justice was also, I thought, an interesting choice. Like, I really want to get into this deck. That's beautiful. And this was an interesting choice as well. This is like the sacking of Troy with the horse there. For the Eight of Wands, which is, I don't know, I feel like there's a lot to chew on there. This is beautiful with the yellow. I don't like this card visually. I think the composition confuses my eyes. I'm really struggling with cards I don't like, which is a good sign, right? We want it to be that I like most of the cards. Oh yeah, obviously I like that. Do I remember who everybody is? No. Okay, I wanted to just like look these up because I don't quite remember who they all were. Four of Swords is Achilles. Locked himself in necessary isolation to fully understand his own soul. Keyword vigil. We've got keywords in the guidebook as well, which I enjoy. It's fine. I don't feel too strongly one way or the other. And then we had a Seven of Swords. I don't remember who that was. Oh, it's Hestia. Doesn't match up with the imagery, I will say. Hestia, the ambitious, bold, and glorious goddess with a tenacious will. A cold-blooded deity adept at warding off evil from domestic places, the essence of strength and beauty, she provides advice and prophecies on human actions, guiding the uncertain along safe and danger-free paths. Not sure that matches up with subterfuge in my mind. So maybe I just like that, but maybe it's just one that I feel like I need to do a little bit more kind of research about. Oh, it was not Telemachus, it was Ulysses or Odysseus. What seemed impossible turned into tenderness, highlighting the affinity between their two souls. I don't love that interpretation as the Two of Cups because I feel like that romanticizes it somewhat where it necessarily wouldn't necessarily agree. So that is one I maybe dislike. This color though, this like yucky green is my favorite thing. Okay, Pentacles. Okay, so Circe and Ulysses, Odysseus, proudly watch the progress of their young son. I do think that's a really interesting take, especially on a Pentacles. But I don't dislike it. And then the 6, I just couldn't remember who this was. Also Circe. Generous with those who suffer and the outcasts. Sympathetic towards those who have lost everything but have stood firm to their principles. Just as she is welcoming towards those in need. Holds the scales of justice which balance everything. Keyword generosity. Meh. I did a whole blog post recently about the 6 Pentacles because I have thoughts and feelings about it. This is fine. Okay, so my least favorite, I don't like that take on the 2. This just confuses me. This I dislike visually. I don't hate any of the aces enough to call them my least favorite card. This is boring. This I just think should be different. This is fine. Who's my least favorite card? I think I have the most beef with the Two of Cups, just because I disagree. I think that romanticizes the relationship between Circe and Odysseus in a way that I don't personally love. As for my favorite, I have a lot more. I like these because I think they're good representations, but they've either like I've seen them before or they're nothing super unique to this deck. I do really like this 10 of Swords, and I very rarely love a 10 of Swords, so that's cool. I do really like that as the Hierophant. I do really like this, and it's a bit of a different take on the 3 of Swords than I've seen before. I think that's very clever. That's a court, that's a court. This is beautiful for sure. And this is beautiful. This is maybe one of my favorite cards visually. I think it's so striking with the dark blue and then this yellow. The color palette in this deck as a whole is just gorgeous. Okay, I think the courts are all beautiful, but I don't know any of them well enough to call them my favorite. Okay, so this is my favorites shortlist. We've got Queen Dido of Carthage as the 3 of Swords. This is Patroclus dressed as Achilles in battle, and then he died. I love this as the 10 of Swords. I think this might be my favorite. This is an unnamed death card, like an unnamed knight, which I think is a really cool representation. I don't know if it's my favorite. This I just think is clever, to be honest. We've got the Sibyl here as the 7 of Cups. I love this. It's not my favorite. So it's one of these. And I don't think these have ever been my favorite cards in a deck before. The 3 of Swords and the 10 of Swords, they're very rarely my favorite. I think I prefer the... Oh, I don't know. I'm not going to choose. So these are my favorites. And then this 2 of Cups is my least favorite just because I disagree with the interpretation. Okay, that took forever. Oh god, okay, a card that represents you. I mean, can I cheat and just pick the Queen of Swords as my significator? Who do I think represents me? I mean, she's great. Accepting of outcast. I mean, I'm stretching for sure here. I'm reaching. In my opinion, Demeter should have a scythe. Okay, this is my birth decan, and then Justice is the Libra card. I'm kind of cheating here. I don't know who represents me. That's a big ask. I don't think I'm badass enough for any of the ones to represent me because that was a lot of like Amazons and very cool like warriors. So I don't know. This feels like the vibe, and I never in my life would have said that the Wheel of Fortune represents me, but something about, I don't know, there's something there. Something feels right. Okay, so the Queen of Swords is Clytemnestra, daughter of Tyndareus and Leda, vigorously flaunting her sharp weapon. Fights with strength and intelligence and is devoted to battle in which she excels for her mental acumen. Keyword sterility, that's interesting. 2 of Swords is the Amazon and warrior Darione. Balance and fighting, boldness unite in a dualism that symbolizes perfect harmony. I don't think perfect harmony is ever going to describe me. And then like Zeus, I don't know. I don't know if I have the big dick energy required for Zeus. The architect of the world, father of all gods born from his genesis, the supreme dispenser of justice. The scales mark the ability to weigh and ponder the actions of the gods and of all living creatures. The ultimate judge watches over every action and intervenes in earthly affairs. See, I think I'm too much of a mind your business minded person for that. So, I don't know, there's something about the Wheel of Fortune. How is it described in this one? The three fates weave their destinies. In their complementing each other and acting in unison, they embody the number of perfection. I mean, I'll take that. Daughters of the night, they represent the cyclical nature of life in its three phases. Granted the privilege of witnessing the birth of celestial heroes foretelling their fate. Linked by their inescapable role in the lives and destinies of humans. Do I think any of them represent me? I don't know, but I like these two. Okay, the next prompt is the deck's favorite book. So I have read Circe by Madeline Miller. I don't have a physical copy anymore, but this is making me want to reread it. I feel like it's kind of got to be the Odyssey, right? Is that cheating? Is that lazy? Is that obvious? So this is the edition of the Odyssey that I have. It's the translation by Emily Wilson and is the first, let me get this right, it's the first English translation of the Odyssey by a woman, or first published English language translation. You get what I'm saying. And I feel like, is this a cop-out answer? Maybe. I feel like this deck would like a retelling, and this is not exactly a retelling, but it's a translation from a new perspective. And so I think that makes sense. All right, I've got a slightly easier prompt now. Fave blue card is the next prompt. Now, of course, all I'm seeing is green. I think that's green. Blue. That's not blue. That's blue. I wish this was blue. Is this blue? It's kind of blue. It's maybe a bit more green. All right, so I've definitely stretched the definition of blue. It's my video, I make the rules. So these are not my favorites. I like it. I'm not that fussed. Not that fussed. I do like it. This arguably not a blue card, so I think that doesn't count. This also arguably maybe a blue card. That I'm not fussed. That I'm not fussed. Do not care about that whale card. This arguably more green than blue, but we're including it in the pile. I don't like that. I do love that. Okay, so these are my favorite blues. This is the bluest one, and I love the little sharks. So I think by default because it's blue rather than green, not default because of the sharks. This is the Emperor, and this depicts Oceanus, who was a Titan. Says here in the book, the Emperor of the underwater world, ruler of the natural elements. The union of air and earth has an alchemical effect. Thus, Oceanus's power comprises all strength and resolve. I really like it. All right, the next prompt I've pulled is best red/pink card, which maybe is even harder than blue. So once again, I fear we are stretching the definition of these colors. That's purple, but I'm going to call it pink. Yeah. Okay, there's a fair bit of red. Right, I've shortlisted what I consider to be a red or pink card. I don't think I was wowed by this, and I do love the quartz, but this actually isn't my favorite. I don't know if I actually dislike this strength card, or if because it's the box art, I'm like too used to seeing it. Because I find that with a lot of decks, I'm like, oh, this is just the box art, like meh. And I feel like that's unfair on the card. I like this 8 of Swords. I do like this, obviously I like this 10 of Swords. This is more purple than pink, but I think it's gorgeous. Obviously, and these were all my like shortlist favorites. So technically that's purple. And I'm going to exclude these because I've already talked about them. I think it's this one, the 8 of Swords. I think maybe, you know, if it's not the two that were my favorite cards in the deck, I think it's the 8 of Swords. So this depicts Andromeda, daughter of Cepheus and Cassiopeia, is saved by Perseus from a horrible death. So that's grim. Chained in her remorse, she feels the full weight of ancient guilt. It's pretty 8 of Swords stuff. All right, I'm going to do one more because this video is kind of long. Deck's favorite season is the final prompt that the prompt picker has picked. Say that 10 times fast. Late summer. I'm going purely based off the colors. Like, it's still hot and it's kind of baked in. Like, that is the season this deck feels like. It feels like late summer. You can kind of see autumn on the horizon. It's not here yet. It's been hot. Everything's a little bit parched. Everything's a little bit like dusty and hazy. I say that summer has been, well, this whole year actually, at least in the UK, has been astonishingly damp and not very hot. But like, what summer should be if global warming wasn't getting in the way. Like, hot and dry, late summer, it's been long. You know when you get to the end of summer and it's actually been a proper summer and you're like, oh, this summer has been long and I've enjoyed it and I love the warmth and I love the sunshine, but like, I feel dried out. Yeah. Okay, just to finish this video out, and because it looks fun and I want to do it, I'm going to do the like Major Arcana Battle Royale little challenge tag thing that's been going around. I didn't write it down, so I can't off the top of my head remember who created this, but I will link them in their original video in the description, as I always do. So yeah, let's get to it. Got Judgment and the High Priestess. I think it's got to be the Judgment. Oh, and the Hermit. Oh, but they're both so good. I think the Hermit wins it though. And with the Lovers, this is Eros and Psyche, right? It's got to be Eros and Psyche. Cupid and Psyche. That's Eros and Psyche, isn't it? I think it's the Lovers. With the World, obviously, it's the Lovers. With the Strength, Hera and the Nemean Lion. I think it's Strength. I think it's Strength. I don't know. I know I just said a whole thing about not loving Strength in this deck, but... Oh, well, it's the Hanged Man, so it doesn't really matter who I picked. And the Wheel of Fortune. I think it's actually the Hanged Man because I love the element of sacrifice in this Hanged Man in particular. It's particularly strong for me. And the Chariot, this is Hades. And first of all, I love that Hades was the Chariot instead of like Death. I think I just appreciate that that's a little bit different. Is this when he's abducting Persephone? Because that's not as fun. I think it's Death. I think it's Death out of these two. And Dionysus was the Fool, which I quite like, but it doesn't hold up to Hades as the Chariot. And the Moon, I think this is Selene, right? Yeah, Selene, a moon goddess. I mean, that feels like a bit straightforward. The Empress, Demeter for the Empress. Did I already say that I think she should have a scythe? And the fact she doesn't have a scythe annoys me personally, and for that reason, it's the Chariot. Okay, I'm biased because it's Hermes. Is it my favorite depiction of Hermes or the Magician? It's a good question. Right, I shouldn't be overthinking this, and instinctively, it's the Chariot. Got the Minotaur as the devil. I think it's the Minotaur as the devil. Something about the maze and the labyrinth. And up against Chiron is the Hierophant. It's Chiron. This Death card, beautiful, beautiful. I love this, like, I think it's like an unnamed knight that's everywhere and brings like that element of death, like inescapable, unavoidable, impersonal. Yeah. Icarus and Daedalus as the Tower is beautiful. Does it hold up to the Death card? Unsure. The Sun does win. And then Temperance, the Sun also wins. The Star, I think this is a really beautiful card, but it's nothing new, you know? Who's that meant to be? So this is a spring nymph handmaiden to Artemis, by all accounts. And then we've got Zeus as Justice, which I think is very cool. Not sure I'm on board with Zeus as Justice. And then this Emperor, and these easily two of my favorite images, and the way they like mirror each other, and of course I ended up with these two. I'm not going to choose because that's too perfect, especially with the way the guidebook describes them. So this is Oceanus, who is Titan of the underwater depths or what have you. And then, has he got a little... Oh no, that's his robe. I thought he had an octopus just like chilling in his lap, but I think it's his sleeve. The guidebook describes the sun card as Sun is the son of Hyperion and Theaelios, Circe's father, driver of the solar chariot built by the god Hephaestus. Each morning, the quadriga rises above the waters of Oceanus to cross the skies toward the west, overseeing the waking hours. And then the emperor was like hidden elements, the waters and the storms. So that's too perfect. So I'm not going to choose. Can I do like a... Oh, that's beautiful. The way she fans out. All right. So that is it from me. Playing with the Circe Tarot, getting to know it a little bit better. I am really excited to work with this deck. I know enough about the Greek myth stuff that it's ringing bells, there's things I recognize, but I also am unfamiliar enough that there's lots to learn, and that's very exciting to me. Maybe I will also finally pull out the Hellenic Oracle by the Arcana Goddess Tarot and start working with that maybe in tandem a little bit. That could be fun. So yeah, I'll keep you posted as to what I get up to with this deck, as always. And that's it. Let me know if you want to see more videos like this, because this was fun. Thank you so much for watching, especially if you made it this far into the video. I really hope you've enjoyed. Give me a like if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already, all that good YouTube stuff, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye. All right, have I stretched the definition of blue? Yes.